Well, it's just amazing to see all this happening, and there are famous cases of remote tribes in South America and Africa, also in Asia, who are ignorant and don't know, who have the big, giant, swollen necks because they're not getting any iodine. Are you familiar with those cases?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just 12.5 milligrams of iodine a day, and you don't have to have goiter. Even less than that. Get yourself on a good iodine supplement, or get yourself on a good ocean supplement, seaweed supplement. There's so many ways that we can participate in a nutritional supplement program to avoid confronting this horrible health crisis that we confront. There's $2.5 trillion a year spent on health in this country. It's 15% of the gross domestic product. And how healthy are we for all of that? A nutritional supplement program is the cheapest insurance program you could ever be on.
Well, again, the system knows this. They understand this. I mean, you read the medical books from 100 years ago, the veterinary books, they all knew that. And, so much of the wives' tales about vitamins, certain plants for certain sicknesses, giving people trace minerals and elements that they need. What's different about the tangy tangerine? All these products are at InfoWarsTeam.com. It's Ted and Michael Zwerling that got me into this. Ted, what are some of the other products, the fatty acids that you got your dad on as well? And then I want Pharmacist Ben Fuchs to describe what those fatty acids are doing in the brain.
Well, the weird part about it is that my mom has to clear everything through the doctor first. So something as simple as essential fatty acids, I feel like I have to get clearance to see the president or something like that. I mean, but the EFAs I take, my dad will be taking them. I mean, it's just so good for your skin, for your brain. I mean, Ben can talk about the benefits of EFAs. I take this stuff called OsteoFX. That's just, it's like a magnesium calcium drink. I mean, I don't feel like my knees hurt anymore. I mean, when the doctor tried to push my leg back to my butt when I was laying on my belly, and it just, I was in such pain, it just had to scream, and he said, look, you got to do these stretches, and we're going to shoot you up with cortisone, and then eventually maybe some arthroscopic surgery, and eventually cutting your knee out and replacing it. That was my future. This is what the medical industry is telling me I need to do.
And all the cortisone would have done was mask the inflammation that was the sign of the underlying problem. Correct, Pharmacist Ben Fuchs?
Oh, worse than mask it, it would shut it down. Inflammation is your body's main protective mechanism from injury, and cortisone shuts it down. Cortisol shut down your body's immune system as well. So the main medical strategies for handling these things not only mask symptomology, they shut down the body's defensive mechanisms. And the real tragedy of the whole thing is that simple nutritional supplementation many times is all you need. And nothing exemplifies that more than this story with essential fatty acids. If you had to pick the single most important nutritional deficiency that we suffer from in this country, I would tell you, and it's a tough call because we suffer from a lot of them, I would tell you the single most important and critical is essential fatty acids. These substances are so vital. Number one, they're hard to get in any foods. Number two, your hormone system depends on them. They are the precursors to something called master hormones. If you're a biochemist, you'll call them eicosanoids. And these master hormones control the effects of every single hormone in your body, whether that hormone is insulin, or whether that hormone is thyroid hormone, or whether that hormone is neurotransmitters in the brain. Essential fatty acids allow these precursors, these eicosanoids, to be made at an effective clip so all of the other hormones work better. In fact, one of the first things that women notice when they start taking these EFAs is their menstrual cramps disappear. It takes about 30 days of EFA supplements, and ladies, you know good and well that if you're getting menstrual cramps, you are craving fatty foods at the same time, and that's the body's cry for essential fatty acids. That's one of the neat things about these.
Because the body needs it. I hate to compare women to mosquitoes, but it's only the female mosquito in all mosquito species that goes out and sucks blood. It needs it for egg production to produce the larvae, and it's the same thing with mammals. That's why women are craving fatty things, because after they have the menstrual cycle, the body needs to basically grow the next crop of the system inside the uterus for the embryo to implant in, and so they're needing fat, they're needing protein. Go ahead.
The point is, once you start taking these essential fatty acids, you don't crave fatty foods anymore. You can actually get to a point where you will not want French fries, because the beautiful thing about the human body is, once you give it the good stuff, it will automatically take you away from the bad stuff. Like with protein. Once you start getting enough protein, you will actually be able to wean yourself off comfortably from bread and pasta and refined carbohydrates and sugar that we know are the bane of Western civilization. Once you start getting enough protein, and that's why I like these protein powders, by the way.
Okay, now, I mean, what about the woman's FX 32-ounce system that's at InfoWarsTeam.com? And when people are checking these out, name the specific products they want to zero in on.
You want to zero in on the Suzanne Summers Shake or on the Nature's Way to make sure you're getting your protein. You want to make sure you're getting that ultimate EFA that's part of the Alex pack. In fact, as I was saying, it's tough to single out the most critical nutritional supplement you need to be on. But I'll tell you what, folks, a strong case could be made for essential fatty acids, because every single cell in the body depends on them. They're critical for hormone function. They're important for skin health. They're important for brain function. They're important for the circulatory system, and they're critical for the lymphatic system, which we hardly ever hear anybody talking about. But the lymphatic system is your body's immune highway. It's where all the toxins and the white blood cells travel through, and many of us suffer from lymphatic congestion. And rest assured, disease follows lymphatic congestion just as sure as night follows day. And
well, we know that. Dentists know that. With they're reporting more than half the heart attacks are related to infections that come from the vector point of infected gums and the bacteria flora getting in. And so just like you have the inflammation and infection, that's where it's all starting and spreading infection to the arteries.
That's right. And you don't want to shut down inflammation, folks, and you don't want to shut down the immune system. That is one of the silliest strategies in all of medicine, and medicine is filled with silly strategies. But one of the silliest is this idea that if you have arthritis, or you have some kind of inflammation in the body, or you have, God forbid, an autoimmune disease, oh, let's give you a little prednisone, one of the most toxic drugs known to man, and shut down your immune system. Folks, if you have an autoimmune problem, I don't care if that's lupus or rheumatoid arthritis or diabetes or Addison's disease or Hashimoto's, whatever it is, if you have an autoimmune disease, the dumbest thing you can do is shut down your immune system. The correct strategy is figure out, why is your immune system active? Why is it hyperactive? Eliminate anything that's getting into your body that's triggering that immune system.
All right, stay there. I want to talk about allergies when we come back, but thank you, Ben Fuchs. Stay with us. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, Ted Anderson. Final comments straight ahead, but this is so important. InfoWarsTeam.com. If you've got questions, 877-551-1301, 877-551-1301. To call the InfoWarsTeam.com with the longevity line of essential life science products, 877-551-1301, or InfoWarsTeam.com. Big list of fine products. The one I keep hearing all the ranting and raving about is the Tangy Tangerine, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's all up there right now, InfoWarsTeam.com. Stay with us. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, InfoWarsTeam.com is our guest. He's a Genesis radio host as well. Find out more at GCNlive.com. Obviously, we'll continue to cover more of what's happening with the birth certificate controversy, the latest on Fukushima as the radiation intensifies. Kurt Nemo's got a new article out that we're going to be expanding. Digital artifacts prove Obama birth certificate altered. We're going to add on some of the other, I mean, this was put out to create a false debate. Now CBS anchor saying Trump is racist. You see, now you can't criticize Obama or anything he does. I mean, the former head of the Treasury saying you're Al-Qaeda and that half the Congress needs to be rounded up. Bizarre statement on Bloomberg. If you don't raise taxes and give them the debt ceiling raised. I mean, this is insane. They're saying if you don't give them more money and go into more debt, it will cause the default, when they're the ones that engineered it. I mean, they're counting on us being dumb. Just like the medical system. Ben Fuchs, you were trained as a regular big pharmacist. I talk to doctors. They say pharmacists know more about drug interactions than the doctors, because you're the folks that have got your name and your life on the line. If you make a mistake, we look at how toxic these drugs are, and then we see the demonization of minerals and vitamins and all the things they're doing. We see in the Safe Food Act they tried to pass, Codex Alimentarius. It actually says it in there. Tell folks about Codex Alimentarius.
They're trying to control how much nutrition you can get. Even in some, it's already kicking in some countries in Europe. You can't get more than 60 or 70 milligrams of vitamin C at a pop. It's about to happen, folks. You know, it almost happened 20 years ago, but everybody made a big stink about it, and now it doesn't seem like people care as much. And I'll tell you what, a government would love to control the amount of nutrition that we get in our body, because that is the final nail in the coffin. Once they control the amount of nutrients that are in our body, it's all over. I follow everything that's going on with the TSA and everything that's going on with the Patriot Act and everything that's going on with the government intrusion in our lives. But I'll tell you, there's nothing more fundamental than the right we have to take nutritional supplementation and to control the foods that we eat. And if we don't participate in a nutritional supplement program and integrate intimately with nutrients in our bodies, it's all over, folks.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I wanted to bring Ted up. I mean, Ted, obviously we're selling and promoting these products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but we sell and promote what we believe in. I've talked to you privately. You weren't even talking about coming on air. I twisted your arm to do it. I mean, you literally are like an acolyte supporter now of the longevity products.
I am, Alex. I was skeptical. I'm not a vitamin mineral guy. I've known nothing about nutrition. I mean, I've always been focused on killing the Federal Reserve System and improving your show and making this thing grow to something big. But I've never paid attention to my own health, which was drifting away. I just thought I was getting old. It would be something I'd have to put up with. And then Zwirling got me hooked up, and I tried this stuff, and I can't believe, I was taking glucosamine and chondroitin for 5 years, and I didn't improve my knee problem until I started taking the mineral drink, the tangy tangerine. It's like it was a cofactor that had to be added to it, and then all of a sudden, my left knee, which I was limping around on, I had to actually lift.
Absolutely. Well, Ted, thank you for joining us. We're flat out of time. Finishing up with Ben Fuchs. Ben, briefly, what is the difference between the mineral cocktail that's in a Beyond Tangy Tangerine and some, $20 bottle you get put out by Big Pharma at the grocery store?
Minerals are very interesting because they come in different forms. If you look at the periodic table, you see 92 or so elements on the periodic table. What they don't show you is each one of those elements comes in a different format. The minerals that you're getting in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine are in a format that's called colloidal. And this means, simply put, that they have a certain electrical activity that makes them non-toxic and makes them readily available to cells.
But also reading, it's a particular way they're getting these vitamins, too. These are plant-derived.
They're plant-derived. What happened over millions of years, plants convert rocks, stones from the earth into usable minerals. As those plants die off, they leave the minerals behind. You can scoop those minerals up today, and you can put them in a liquid drink, and instead of sinking like stones, they'll
Stay there. 5 more minutes. InfoWarsTeam.com. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?